Ladies and gentlemen, happy Chinese New Year and welcome to our very special festival party today. It is really, really great to see you and thanks for taking the time out to join us. So I'm Andy, your host, Head of Global PR here at Wendy Wu Tours. And you know what? I am super excited about what's coming up in this party today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our special party today would not be complete without one very special lady. A lady who 26 years ago set about organising her first tour to China, the very start of Wendy Wu Tours. Now one of the world's most influential travel people in the UK, Australia and New Zealand. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wendy Wu. So Wendy, 2020, what a completely unexpected and challenging year. Now, as a leader in the travel industry, I know 2020 was bad, but were there any bright moments from the year?
Yes, Andy. I believe that 2020 would be remembered as the year of COVID. Let me recount the highlights from the very beginning. I remember in January, when COVID first hit, at that time, just China, I was invited to BBC to give the expert insight to the ever-changing and evolving COVID impact and the situation to the world of travel. And then afterwards, I was invited to be on for 3 more times, including one last month. So they were my highlights. And then the next thing happened is COVID all of a sudden started to impact all the rest of the world. All the borders start closing down. I remember distinctively in March, all of a sudden, the whole world is shutting. And our very, very hard-working operation team here and at the destination started work day and night to repatriate all our customers over the world. To first and foremost, to get them safely onto the earliest flight to get home. But even more important and equally important, because all the flights, so many are cancelled. So therefore, we actually work hard to bring them back. But while they are still at the destination, we work hard to make sure they still have the best time, well looked after. And I want you to know, I'm so proud. All the customers come back safely and they write raving report to say how happy they were. They were under our care. We did a good job to look after them. That's another highlight. Then, travel. As you know, the whole world was devastated. Everybody's life was impacted. And the travel is the most devastating and the most hit. But travel industry is very resilient. And many companies are very strong. For example, us. We stayed strong. Once again, our hardworking and expert team worked day and night, hard as ever, with the destination and with everything. And we continue to improve the tour, make the best can be, make it even more enjoyable, make it safe, so that when you can go back, it will be perfection. And that was something we did. And you can see here's all the ranges of brochure to all the different destinations. And that is Southeast Asia, Latin America, India, Japan, and Central Asia, and China, all of that. If you have not got one, please order one because they are so rare and precious. Now, the next one, it is the entire industry did not sit still or weather away either. Even though during this hard year, no one traveled. And we had to cancel all the tours as well. And yet, that the travel industry still worked hard and encouraged each other, and we still put on a fabulous Oscar of the industry, which is the Global Travel Award. It just happened. And joining that Global Travel Award, we, Wendy Wu Tours, won for the 12th consecutive year as the best specialist tour operator. And you can see there's so many, that's the Global Travel Award, and over there behind the ND as well. So we are the best specialist tour operator, and we are so proud. So that's another high moment. And just recently, not only in the industry, and I do believe as the most hit and the kind of suffered industry, the whole of the country is supporting the industry. So therefore, that the wonderful British Travel Award still happened, and millions of people actually voted. And once again, I want to say that we are so proud that we have won the best exported touring company and the best East Central Asia tour company and the best Southeast Asia touring company. So that's 3 great big awards we won only recently. And thank you so much for voting for us. That's another highlight. But that's not all. And my biggest and gratitude and thank you is actually go to our repeat customers. As I mentioned, when COVID just hit, our customer everywhere, and you put your trust and in our hands, allow us to work hard to bring you back and give you the best experience when you are there. And thank you for all the praising letters and email and all of that. Thank you. That means so much to us. Also, that after we had to close all the tours for your safety and have to cancel everything and put the operation to hold. Thank you once again that you changed your departure date from the 2020 to the end of 2020 to 2021. And when now the spring is coming and you see the border is still not open, you moved your tour again to the end of 2021 and 2022. We are so grateful for your faith and for your trust and for your fantastic support. Thank you so much. And also for the new friends you are here today, join our party. And we thank you for your time and thank you. Give us once again your support as well. For all of that, I believe and I strongly feel you all deserve the best holiday. Once this is out, we will really give you the best tour. And as our repeat customer, you know this is what we do. That's why you come with us again and again. For all the new friends and repeat customer, that's our promise. That Wendy Wu Tours will never be satisfied until you travel with us once, but come back again and again with us. So, I think these are the highlights, Andy.
Well, yeah, actually quite a lot of highlights there, Wendy. Thank you. So many, magic and bright moments from 2020. Really, really many. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a new year now. We're in 2021. 2020 is finished. We're over it. 2020, ladies and gentlemen, was the year of the rat in Chinese New Year. We're done with that. We're done with the rat. See this rat? This rat is finished. We're getting rid of the rat. 2020 is gone. Say goodbye, Wendy.
Bye-bye. Could not wait.
Yeah, we can't wait. And I'm sure you can't wait either to see the back of this person. So, see you. Adios. It was good, but you're finished.
Yes.
That's what we do with the rats. Now, Wendy, New Year, Chinese New Year, 2021. What is symbolic about 2021, and what creature are we looking at for 2021?
Does everybody know? 2021 is the year of ox, the hard-working, cultivating, and sowing the seeds for the new beginning. That is the 2021.
So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, 2021, a new year, new beginnings, as you said there, Wendy. But Wendy, tell me, are we going to be traveling this year?
Andy, 2021, a new beginning. Right now, UK's vaccination program is so impressive. And all of the world, every country is embracing it. It's very much possible. With all of that and the whole world working together, then it is, we hope and we believe that in autumn, we may be able to travel again. And Andy, right now, it is the festival party. We are all here for the party. So everybody, please join us and just forget about everything else. Let us to take you on a journey of these wonderful countries to the faraway, distant land. Let us to say Happy New Year, and Andy will show you what's coming.
So, ladies and gentlemen, coming up for you today, while we're taking you to the destination that you are here for and looking at the highlights of this incredible region and all those authentic experiences that you'll enjoy there. We're taking you on a spectacular journey on one of our flagship tours. Plus, we are going to be venturing off the beaten track to some of those lesser known traveled areas. Now, at the end of this section, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the best part. This is when the party really begins. You'll be invited to join our team of travel experts in our special party room. Now here you can ask our specialist team any question that you want to. You'll find out more about these fascinating countries and all of your favourite tours with Wendy Wu Tours. Now, as the UK's #1 specialist travel company, of course, as our repeat customers know so very well, we have the most amazing offers, such as free flights worldwide, free single supplements to many countries. And remember, at any time during the party, if you want to ask a question, then just hit the chat option on the Zoom and you can ask away, ask any question that you want to throughout. So now, the moment you've been waiting for. Yes, it's here. Case packed, passports ready? Are you ready? Let's travel.
Hello, my name is Peter Crane. I am the Product Director at Wendy Wu Tours, and it's my pleasure to be with you today to introduce you to Central Asia, one of my favourite regions in the world. It really is, for me, a fascinating region which blends an extraordinary mixture of cultures and traditions from east and from west. It's set on the bridgehead, if you like, between Europe and Asia, and therefore, over the centuries, this region has seen invading forces from the west and from the east, laying their mark on the buildings, the culture, the traditions, the language even of each of the countries. From the west, we had obviously Alexander the Great from Greece. Genghis Khan came across from the east with his forces in the 13th and 14th centuries. Tamerlane the Great from Uzbekistan itself. And more recently, the Russians invaded, of course. All of these countries were part of the Soviet Union during much of the 20th century. We're going to investigate two parts of Central Asia. First, the 5 so-called stans of Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. And secondly, the smaller countries of the Sub-Caucasus region, Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. In fact, we'll start with those three countries. We've got a wonderful, very comprehensive 23-day tour through the Sub-Caucasus region, starting in Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan. It spends 6 days in Azerbaijan before crossing into Georgia, where we spend 10 days exploring the best of Georgia and finish up with 7 days in Armenia before returning from Yerevan. This is a go beyond tour, so the maximum group size is 18, and the tour will take you to places a little bit off the beaten track, and we'll stay in places slightly more remote than we'd normally stay out on our classic tours, and see parts of these countries that very, very few other tour groups, if any, will be seeing. Let me take you to a closer detailed map of the region. So you can see Azerbaijan there in the east, with Georgia in the northwest and Armenia to the south. The region is bordered by the Black Sea on the west, Caspian Sea in the east, and the Greater Caucasus Mountains stretching right across the north. And it's that geography that really informs the history and the cultures of these three countries. We start in Baku, the flamboyant, futuristic capital city of Azerbaijan. Baku is an oil-rich city. It discovered its oil wells in the turn of the 20th century and became one of the wealthiest cities in the world. And even now is an extravagant place, and the architecture here illustrates that. But I think it blends beautifully with the older, more traditional architecture from the turn of the 20th century. During the course of this 23-day trip, we really do get a feel for the sweep of history across this region. From the very modern, futuristic architecture of Baku, later on the tour we visit this place, ancient Karahunj, an observatory built 7,500 years ago on a hillside in southern Armenia. So we really do see the full sweep of history through these countries during the course of the trip. From Baku, we travel up into the foothills of the Caucasus Mountains and visit this place, the Khan's Palace in Sheki, a beautifully decorated Persian building from the end of the 18th century. The tilework outside is stunning, as you see, and the inside is equally amazing. We cross from Azerbaijan into Georgia, and the first part of Georgia that we visit is Kakheti. This is the wine-growing region of Georgia in the east, and we visit this lovely hilltop town, Sinyagi, overlooking the wine field, the vineyards, and the snow-capped Caucasus Mountains behind. And of course, while we're traveling through the wine district, we will stop and enjoy some wine tastings. And many people are very surprised at the quality of Georgian wine. The reds and the whites are both excellent. And throughout our time in Georgia, we will enjoy and appreciate the wines. Moving on, we come to Tbilisi, Georgia's very colourful capital city. This really is a beautiful place, and we enjoy time here, walking the cobbled back streets, visiting the squares, cafes, markets, restaurants. And at the restaurants, we have a wonderful opportunity to try Georgian cuisine. This really is a surprise and a revelation for many. It's a delicious fusion of Eastern and Western cuisine with influences from the Mediterranean, from Turkey, from the Middle East, also from China, from India, and from Persia. Now, wherever we travel in Georgia, what you'll appreciate is that the architecture, the buildings, are very often set in the most spectacular locations. This is the Church of the Holy Trinity up in the foothills of the Caucasus Mountains. And the church itself is stunning, but the views from the church, I think you'd agree, are even more stunning. From here, you see the full 180-degree range of the Caucasus Mountains stretching in front of you, including Mount Kazbegi, just over 5,000 meters high. Further west, we visit Svaneti, which for me is one of my favorite regions in Georgia. Very little known, very unspoilt. These lovely alpine villages dotted amongst the meadows with the snow-capped mountains behind. And each village, as you see, if you look closely, has these 1,000-year-old watchtowers or tower houses built right through the villages. These were built to protect the villagers in ancient times against invading armies or bandits. And whilst we're in the Spalletti region, we meet the local people who are wonderfully hospitable and will invite us into their houses. We learn with them how to bake traditional khachapuri, for example, which is the famous traditional bread of Georgia, usually made with unleavened flour, with cheese and egg and other ingredients thrown into the khachapuri as well. Very simple, but totally delicious. Georgia is a deeply Christian country, so wherever we travel, we will stop and see the churches, the monasteries, including this place here, Gelati Monastery, one of the holiest places in the whole of Georgia. And we visit ancient Vardsia, probably the most extraordinary of all the monasteries in the country. This was built in the 6th century and has been inhabited for centuries since. The monks have carved their chapels and their refectories and the dormitories from the cliffside. And when you venture inside the cliff, it's like a honeycomb of connecting passageways and staircases between all the various chambers. We also visit Rabati Fortress, a remarkable place. I love this place because it's an ancient fortress and it's been rebuilt many, many times over by each successive invading army, most recently by the Ottoman Turks who occupied this part of Georgia. But what you find within the fortress complex is a church and a mosque and a synagogue all sitting alongside each other, which I think is remarkable, and also an illustration of quite how cosmopolitan the peoples of this region were in centuries past. Crossing into Armenia, we visit Hagatsin Monastery, surrounded, as you see, by beautiful deciduous woodlands, and also this church on the edge of Lake Sevan. Lake Sevan is famous in Armenia for its ever-changing shades of blue. It's said to never be the same shade of blue for 2 days in a row. We also go to the 10th century monastery of Tatev, which is one of the very oldest monasteries in the whole of Armenia. And it's a reminder that this country was the very first country in the world to adopt Christianity as its official religion in 301 AD. And the monastery architecture and the church architecture here in Armenia has become the prototype from which all of our Western church architecture was developed, with the cruciform form of the churches, the towers, the vaults, the archways. All those architectural styles were derived from these early churches in Armenia. But there's older architecture in Armenia too. This is the ancient temple of Gani from the 1st century AD, built in Roman style, as you see. And finally, we visit Zvartnots Cathedral. This is one of the very earliest cathedral buildings in Byzantine times, in the very early Christian era in Armenia. And the cathedral itself is remarkable, but the setting, overlooked as it is by Mount Ararat across the border in Turkey, is quite dramatic, as you see. So finally from me, let me just mention the second tour that we operate in this region. The Gems of Georgia tour is much shorter. It's only 11 days and it focuses on one country only, Georgia. So in the 11-day tour through Georgia, we see all the very best highlights of that country. It's a fully inclusive tour again. So if you have less time or perhaps less budget, you might want to consider this option rather than the full 23-day tour that takes in all 3 countries in the Sub-Caucasus. So that's it from me for now, but I'll join you a little later to talk to you about the other tours in Central Asia in the so-called stands.
So, ladies and gentlemen, how are you enjoying today's show? Hasn't it been extraordinary? Already we've travelled on one of our flagship tours, and that's not the end of it. We're going to be doing lots more travelling as well, because we love travelling. I love travelling, and I know you love travelling too. And here at Wendy Wu Tours, that's what it's all about. It's all about travelling. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this section, we've got the party room. That's coming up. And here in the party room, you'll get to talk to our travel experts. They can't wait to hear from you. You'll be able to find out all about this incredible region, ask lots of questions. So do stick around to the end of the show for that. Now, like I said, we love traveling and we can't wait to travel again. And that's what we're going to do right now. Here at Wendy Wu Tours, we have got lots and lots of different tours and lots of different touring styles as well, as you'll see if you read the brochure and look at our website. So now we're going to go back to the destination, but this time we're going off the beaten track and we're going to see some of those lesser known traveling areas.
Hello, I'd like to take you back, if I may, to Central Asia, this time to the so-called 5 stans of Central Asia. As mentioned before, these are Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. Our most popular tour in this region takes in Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan, 2 neighbouring but highly contrasting countries. The tour is called Road to Samarkand. It's a 22-day fully inclusive tour, beginning in Bishkek, the capital of Kyrgyzstan, and ending in Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan. Our time in Kyrgyzstan is all about discovering the wonderful nature of this country. There are very few countries in the world that could claim to be as beautiful as Kyrgyzstan. Its mountains, its lakes, its forests are all dramatically beautiful and very unspoiled. We visit, for example, Lake Isykyl, which splits the middle part of the country, and enjoy a boat trip on the lake, overshadowed by the snow-capped mountains on the southern side. We also venture deep off the beaten track into regions where ancient traditions are still carried out today by the nomadic peoples. For example, eagle hunting. This is a tradition that's been practiced throughout Central Asia for centuries, and it's a real privilege to watch these people hunting with their golden eagles through the deserts of the region. We also visit extraordinary places like this. This is the caravanserai at Tash Rabat. Caravanserais were built the full length of the Silk Road for the ancient traders and merchants to stop. Every 20 or 30 kilometers, there was a caravanserai where the camels and traders would be put up overnight. The landscape here is, as you see, is austere, it's bleak, but also beautiful. It's very easy when you're in a place like this to imagine those ancient caravans coming through from east to west, carrying their goods, the silks, and other goods from China to the markets of the Mediterranean. We also visit the Chongqing National Park, perhaps one of the most beautiful of all the national parks in Kyrgyzstan, before crossing the border into Uzbekistan, where we travel to Samarkand. Samarkand for many is the most exquisite of all the ancient Silk Road cities. The Islamic art and Islamic architecture here are simply second to none. These gorgeous madrasas, for example, at the Registan Square, facing each other across the square, are all decorated with intricate tile work and the famous turquoise tiles for which Samarkand is famous. We visit the mausoleum of Tamerlane, the great emperor who ruled over the Silk Road cities here at Guria Amir. And later we travel to Bukhara, the second of the famous Silk Road cities in Uzbekistan. Bukhara is absolutely jam-packed with sites to explore. There are said to be over 140 different historical monuments in the old town itself, many of which are UNESCO listed. We have 3 full days here, so we do see plenty of them, including, for example, the Kalyan Mosque, a beautiful, serene place right in the heart of the city. We travel further west to Khiva and visit Ichankala, which is the old city, surrounded still by its ancient mud brick wall. And in the heart of Khiva, you perhaps see the most beautifully preserved, best preserved of all the ancient Silk Road cities. Kalta Minor, for example, another example of a really beautifully decorated madrasa with its minaret. If you're looking for a longer tour through this region, we can take you on a 27-day journey through all 5 of the stands of Central Asia. That's to say, a journey that starts up in Kazakhstan, travels down into Tajikistan before crossing Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and finally back from Turkmenistan. In Kazakhstan, we explore the Charan Canyon, a 90-kilometer-long canyon carving through the deserts of Kazakhstan. Many people compare it to the Grand Canyon in the United States. We also visit Almaty, surrounded, as you see, by the beautiful Altai Mountains, one of the most dramatically located cities I've ever seen. And towards the end of the trip, we visit one of the Silk Road cities less fortunate than Samarkand or Bukhara or Khiva, in that it was totally destroyed by the Mongols when they swept in from the east. In 1221, the ancient city of Merv was completely razed to the ground. And considering this was the biggest city in the world at the time, 700,000 of its inhabitants were killed by the Mongols, and all that remains of ancient Merv today are these slightly haunting monuments you see in front of you. Also in Turkmenistan, we see a modern day site, the Darvaza crater. This is an extraordinary place. It's a natural crater with a permanently burning natural gas flame. And we go out to the Darvaza crater in the evening to enjoy a picnic dinner on the edge of the crater, illuminated by the flames of the crater itself. Quite a remarkable experience. The tour finishes in Ashgabat in Turkmenistan, another remarkable city, a remarkable country for its politics and for its history. It's an extraordinary place and a really fitting end to a journey like no other. Finally, from this part of the world, I'd like to mention a shorter tour that we have that concentrates on one of the stands only, Uzbekistan. This tour is Ultimate Uzbekistan. It's a 12-day tour, again fully inclusive, and it focuses on the Silk Road cities of Uzbekistan, as mentioned before, Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva. And on this particular tour, we also take in Lukus, one of the other ancient cities on the ancient Silk Road. That's it from me. Thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now jetting off to the other side of the world. Yes, we are going to meet our China guides, and they have got a very, very special Happy Chinese New Year message for you.
Happy Chinese New Year! Goodbye the red of 2020. Welcome 2021, the good and hard-working ox. We're so happy to send this message to you, our dear friends, old and new, at this special occasion. Even though you're 1,000 miles away, you're in our hearts and in our thoughts. Just like you have missed traveling the world, in 2020, we have missed you, our customers, so much. China was where COVID attacked first, but it is now the safest place. It is our greatest hope that with the most impressive implementation of vaccinations in the UK, life will soon be good for you too, so that you can travel for joy and experience the wonders of the world with us once more. On behalf of Wendy Wu Tours China team and our guides around the world, we wish you a very prosperous new year with great, healthy, wealthy, and joy of travel.
We look forward to welcoming you in China,
in Japan,
in Southeast Asia,
in India,
in Central Asia,
Middle East,
in Latin America. Let's make a date. See you in autumn 2021 and in 2022.
Happy Chinese New Year!
新年快乐!
So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a real privilege to be with you today, and we hope you enjoyed this destination as much as we do. Wonderful to be connected, to see you all and to share with you all the exciting news about this destination, the experiences, and of course, those fantastic special offers. Free worldwide flights, no single supplements, and of course, free VIP airport lounge access. So now we are coming to the best part. It's the party room. And this is where you're going to be able to meet the experts behind the scenes, ask lots of questions, find out more about these fascinating countries, and of course, hear more about those offers. Plus, because it's a party, you're going to meet lots of like-minded people. So just close your Zoom page and the party room will open up for you. And do remember, you can ask questions at any time throughout this. And hey, because we want to see you, please do remember to switch on your video in the bottom left-hand corner of your Zoom screen. And whilst you're at it, just hit the mute as well and unmute yourself when you want to ask a question. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Thank you, it's been great, and look forward to seeing you in the party room. See you there.